Hi, this is Simon Phillips. This is I Love Networking. So I've got a multi-part question for you. How do you network at live events? How do you network online? And how do you network ad hoc?
Okay. Live events is really, I walk into the room and I look around at everybody and I think, who haven't I spoken to? I love to get my hugs and kisses from all those I know, but who haven't I met yet? And let me go after those and kind of sidle up and see if I can eke into the conversation.
I try to go different times of day because you get different people going. So I like to try a variation of breakfast, lunch, evening events, and see, because you do get totally different people, and of course you get different times of day, means people are in different frames of mind, so it's good to have a real mixture.
I tend to go for the smaller live events.
Okay.
I much prefer a smaller event where I can get to know a few people well to a big event where there's loads of people milling around with a business card in one hand and a glass of dodgy wine in the other.
You can't hear them.
And you can't hear them,
Okay.
and they're not really interested in taking the time to get to know you.
Are you working the room, or are you just talking in small groups?
I'm quite shy generally, so I'm not a big fan of working the room for me, because I prefer to get to know someone a bit better. I know I probably should work the room a bit more, but I tend to stick to a bunch of people and get to know them better.
Online, I look for any kind of a topic that I feel I may be able to help or contribute, and over my years I've had a fair amount of good experience, and so if I can throw sixpence worth in that might just help someone, I love to be able to do that.
The thing with online is that everything that happens offline happens online as well, only faster.
Right.
And one of the problems is that everything that you say and do remains forever. Now, if you meet in a networking event like the one we're at tonight, we're meeting people I haven't met before. Some of them I've just shaken hands, they go away, we've said a few words, and by tomorrow they'll have forgotten. So if I make a bad impression, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
If I make a good impression, that's fine. When you do it online, and you make a bad impression, it sticks around. So I think online needs a lot more concentration than offline, and actually usually gets less from most people.
The other thing I'd say in answer to the question is don't share the same content across all sites, which I know some people do. There are different people, different constituencies on different sites, and they speak different languages. So think carefully about what you post and where and how you do it. Even to the point where I use Hootsuite that allows me to cross-pollinate, but I will perhaps, if I'm using a hashtag or an @username on Twitter, I will change the language on Facebook.
Yes.
Even though I could save time.
That doesn't mean anything.
That doesn't mean anything.
And then the last one is ad hoc. You just bump into people. How do you have a networking thought when you just bump into people?
I do actually, that's why I like to ask somebody what they do first, because then the little radars go up and I think, I can see an opportunity here.
Brilliant.
So the radars are always there ready to go.
Bumping into somebody in Sainsbury's is just as good as anywhere else. If you just happen to brush past them in Sainsbury's or Tesco's or wherever. And
other supermarkets also available.
then it just again allows you to reconnect with somebody for a later purpose.
What was the third one?
So ad hoc. Do you have a networking head-on most of the time?
Yeah, I mean, I'll network on the tube, when I get on the tube, on buses in London, on the train. There really isn't a place you can't network, but again, treat it like you're a host and you're trying to help people rather than, here's an opportunity to sell to you, and that'll be fine.
Ad hoc, to me, it's about people, like them, want to meet them, want to learn more, and happy to share if anybody wants to have something from me. So that's really it. It's a lifestyle rather than a separate thing that is done just for a certain particular purpose.
A certain suit or hat on.
Yeah, exactly.